morning. This is Level Up Luke for the Queen City Soccer Show. It is another beautiful day in Cary, North Carolina. So, you know what that means. It's the soccer tournament, day 4. And yesterday, we had a lot of action. This is going to be a recap of day 3, preview of day 4. And we're going to get started with the morning session yesterday. So, we had the Town FC out of California defeating Gracie FC. Fan favorite there. Say Word FC, another fan favorite, loses to La Bombonera. We have 1015 FC pulling off a shocking upset over Fit Bodega Vancouver. I told you guys yesterday, I thought Fit Bodega Vancouver was one of the strongest teams on that side of the bracket, but 1015 get it done 3-2 in target score time. We have the Reggae Rovers staying perfect. They defeat Tobacco Road FC. This was what I predicted to be a high-scoring match. Final score was 3-2, but Reggae Rovers look really good going forward. We have Saturday's football. This was insane, man. They played Dueling for Lincoln, and Dueling for Lincoln had a great showing in the group stage. First place in their group. Saturday's football barely squeaked in here, and they win 3-0. Dueling for Lincoln out. Hoosier Army, Indiana alum, face Villarreal and take home the win 4-0, preserving another shutout. Indiana could be for real. This team is not backing down from anybody. Like I said, they got some size on them, and they're playing well together. They could be poised to make a deep run. Although that might be a curse. Me saying how good a team is might be a curse at this point. So we'll see how that goes. Como Cagliari, for the big name brands, the Italian Serie A sides that are combining to make this team, are holding up the banner for the big name brands, and they defeat the Georgetown Hoyas 4-2. What is a Hoya? I guess we'll never know. Freedom United SC, the Air Force alumni, defeat the FC Roja Eagles 4-1. So 2 out of 3 of the alumni groups advance to the round of 16. We have Quick Goal FC, my favorites to win the tournament, up against North Carolina FC. This was a wild one. I was shocked. This was super low scoring. There was finally a goal, I think right before halftime, and target score was set to 2. North Carolina FC defeats Quick Goal FC. The home team with the home supporters, they made it loud, and the favorites are out. North Carolina FC with a monster upset. One of the upsets of the day, for sure. That just absolutely stuns the tournament at this point. Quick Goal FC is out. Wrexham Red Dragons, the men's team, playing against Soccer Roof. This got out of hand quickly. I was watching the game. I was at the field after Wrexham put it up to about 4-0. I moseyed on to check out some of the other contests because final score 6-0. Wrexham is cruising. They're riding real high right now. Fascinating matchup here. The Sire 7 versus Manhattan Kickers FC. Now, I didn't know very much about the Sire 7, but I had a chance to speak with the Manhattan Kickers, some of the players and coaches after the game, and they were telling me that it was just a mismatch on the field, that Sire 7 has some really, really good players, and they were twice the size of the Manhattan guys. And Manhattan was no slouch. I thought that they could be an underdog, a dark horse for the tournament. But, in speaking with the players, they had a lot of young guys. Apparently that is a youth soccer program up in New York City. There was a 18 and a 20-year-old that I was speaking with. So they actually know Nympha from Crown Legacy. So I guess they played with him. Shout out. And Nympha's with the United States U19 national team right now. They got a big win against Argentina. Back to this matchup, though. Manhattan Kickers fall 4-1 in favor of Sire 7. I got a video of Sire 7 walking out, so you can judge for yourself their size and physicality there. I'm going to post that on the TikTok channel. Great game. This was a appointment game for me. Toronto Athletic FC versus the Raleigh Rebels. The home team Raleigh Rebels had an advantage 4-2 going into target score time. Target score set to 5. They got that on a goalie throw. It looked like goalie wars. The dude just absolute cannon, overhand throw, across the field into the net to win the game for the Raleigh Rebels in target score time. One of the coolest plays of the day. Absolutely love to see it. Raleigh Rebels advance. You got NCFC and the Raleigh Rebels, two hometown teams, two host teams advancing. A big matchup. This was one of the biggest crowds of the day. Nani FC versus Sneaky Fox FC. I told you guys, I think Sneaky Fox could sneak one out here, and they actually did draw in target score time to tie it up 1-1, target score 2. Nani FC, however, had what I think was the play of the day, and you should go check out the TST social media channels because this was insane, dude. Their goalkeeper saved a ball, dribbled out, and just bombed it all the way across the field, straight into the net to win the game. It was almost like a field goal kick to win. It was insane, awesome video. And then Luis Nani went running up to confront the goalkeeper on the other team, and it got heated for a second, and then he said, "Oh, just kidding," shook his hand. Former teammates and former teammates. So, moving on to the late night action, we had Field 2, kind of a centerpiece matchup here. Crowd went crazy for this one. Super United took a 2-0 lead in this game against Concaifa SC. Looked like Pat McAfee and the boys were on the ropes. Right before the end of regulation, Concaifa scored one. They brought it back 2-1. Breck Shea had a great goal. And going in target score time, target score 3, and I heard the entire place, I was watching another game, go crazy as Concaifa tied it up. 2-2 in target score time. Players are dropping off the field. You got 6-on-6, 5-on-5. So the field is widening out. You get more space. And Concaifa SC gets the job done, completes the 3-goal comeback to advance to the round of 16. Pat McAfee said, first of all, he said before the game that he had picked up a hip flexor injury. And if you've seen the video of him skying a free kick like 40 yards, out off the pitch, he said his hip actually went out, might have had a tear during that. So he's going to be Coach McAfee, no longer Player McAfee. But he said after this game that they were going to have a monster party at the hotel. All the other teams were invited. So he just wanted to celebrate not only their comeback win, but this whole tournament. And that's really what it's all about. Celebrating, meeting some awesome people. Late games for the day. The two last ones, as my phone was dying, I tried to get a little more video before I left, but my phone was down at like 3% at this point. Newtown Pride FC, the defending champs, versus #United. Spencer Owen and one of the fan favorites. They have a massive following worldwide. Newtown Pride just dominated this game from start to finish. They strangled out #United with a slow, conservative possession style of play. Their goalkeeper was just playing games with #United the entire time. Newtown Pride is still looking like one of the favorites in this tournament, and they are advancing to the round of 16. On Field 5, right next door, so I was bouncing back and forth between these two games. Pasha Luxury FC, who I told you I don't know anything about them. I still don't. Versus La Mexicana Express, who I have seen a few of their games, and I know a little bit about them. But Pasha Luxury gets it done, man. 3-1, and target score set to 4, and Pasha Luxury scores it, man. Taking care of business, no nonsense. So, the men's bracket, round of 16, is all set. The matchups that we have going into today, what day is it, 4? We're going to have Freedom United versus Hoosier Army, a rematch, Air Force versus Indiana alums. That's your opening game of the day, which is kicking off in a few minutes, so I will probably miss that one, as I'm still trying to get everything together for you guys from yesterday. Next up, Saturday's football, the one that squeaked in and got the shocking upset of Dueling Lincoln versus the hometown Raleigh Rebels FC. My money's on the Raleigh Rebels. Let's support the home team. Como Cagliari versus Newtown Pride FC. Really interesting matchup here. I think that the big name brand is going down. Newtown Pride advances It's my guess. These big name brands don't tend to last this long into the tournament, so I think this is a success for Como Cagliari, but I think their run's over. 10-15 FC versus the Concafa SC. So Concafa's getting, instead of one of the sneaky good teams, they're getting one of the scrappy underdogs in this round. I say Concafa hammers it 6-0. Let's see how that works out. La Bombonera versus Pasha Luxury FC. I have no commentary on this one. The Town FC versus Nani FC. This is going to be probably the most watched game of the session, I would imagine. The fans are really getting behind Nani FC. It's a celebrity team. The Town FC also has a little bit of fan support. It's a good story. It's two teams that wear black and white, so this will be a monochrome game, I imagine. The Reggae Rovers versus Wrexham Red Dragons. I said I think that Nani's going to get all the attention, but Reggae Rovers versus the Wrexham team is my game of the morning. I'm so excited for this. I will not miss this. Kicking off at 12:30. I'm sure it's going to be broadcast on ESPN Plus. So if you're listening to this at home, check it out. Sire 7 and North Carolina FC round out the round of 16. Sire 7, I mean, we heard they're big and physical. North Carolina FC just beat Quick Goal. They might have a little bit of a hangover match here. I'm not sure, but they are the home team. They're going to have a lot of noise and support. This is a toss-up to me. As much as I dislike North Carolina FC in USL, I think I have to support the home team here in the tournament, in the soccer tournament. That hurts to say. But yeah, give me NCFC. Whew. You guys ready to talk some women's bracket? I know I sure am. So the women's bracket, actually gave you some incorrect information previously. They are starting off in a group stage, but there's two groups. And then they're moving to a single elimination bracket. So they wanted to get a few more games in here. I think that makes a lot of sense, totally fair. There's only 8 teams this year for the inaugural women's bracket. I would really like to see us get up to, 16, 32 teams on the women's side. I think that kind of an expansion would be so beneficial. But to start out with, we got 8 teams. And starting off in Group B, we had the Burnley women's team at North Carolina Courage. I can tell you already, the Burnley women's team is going to have a better showing than the men's team, who did not win a single game. They look like they know what they're doing. Kalia Watt is the captain on that one, J.J. Watt's wife, and pro soccer player in her own right. So I love to see it. They're very competitive, and they came up against the hometown, the host, North Carolina Courage. I can tell you about the Courage. I'm seeing a lot more North Carolina Courage merch than I am NCFC. And even a lot of the NCFC players are wearing Courage gear. So I think that's really interesting, really cool. Courage really is the home team for WakeMed, not NCFC. NCFC, they share a brand and probably an owner, but WakeMed Soccer Park is the home of the North Carolina Courage. They win 2-1. Hometown advantage. Got to be it. Game I didn't get to watch here, the other game in Group B, but I'm very interested in these teams. Tampa Bay Sun FC from the USL Super League. The league has not started yet, so I'm very interested to see what they do, Tampa Bay, versus Soccerhead FC. And I saw the girls from Soccerhead FC around the pitches watching other games. So, I mean, they're out and about. I saw some little girls running up to them to get autographs. Very exciting. And final score 1-0 Soccerhead FC. Moving over to Group A, Streetball FC Canada, and I believe this is the women's division of the Toronto Athletic, the same group that organizes both teams. So a lot of Canadian representation. I saw a lot of Canadian flags, Canadian merch. So the fans are coming out to see Streetball FC Canada and Toronto Athletic, who fell out after an undefeated group stage. Streetball Canada starts their group stage undefeated, beating the U.S. women's team 3-0. U.S. women were taking this very, very seriously, but we're not seeing the results on the pitch yet. Moving over, other game in Group A, Angel City Sevens at Wrexham Red Dragons, the women's side. So my rooting interest on this one is clear. I watch Welcome to Wrexham. I think the women's team episodes of Welcome to Wrexham are the best that the show has to offer, or at least among the best. They have such heart. These women care so much about the game and the sport, and their passion is unrivaled. I'm sure Angel City Sevens has an equally good story. I've seen their documentary on Max. Natalie Portman, I believe, is the founder and celebrity co-owner, and she brought in a ownership team that involves some U.S. national team players, some celebrities. So Angel City, it's a celebrity-backed club, but they are local, and I would say the level of talent is a lot higher with them. They beat Wrexham women's team 3-1. Moving into the afternoon session, this is group stage, game 2. Soccerhead FC versus Burnley FC. I told you, Burnley FC, the women's team looks better than the men's team. They win 3-1 over Soccerhead. So Burnley on the board, the first Burnley win of the competition. And now I'm done saying Burnley. Angel City Sevens versus the U.S. women's team. Now, remember, Angel City won the earlier game. U.S. women lost. They lost 3-0. This time they flipped the script. They beat Angel City 3-0. You're going to see this trend. There's a lot of 1-1 teams on the women's bracket right now. Tampa Bay Sun get the win over North Carolina Courage, moving both teams to 1-1. That final score was 4-2. So Tampa Bay Sun getting on the board. Burnley getting on the board. U.S. women getting on the board in this afternoon session. A lot of kind of flip-flops here. There was one late game for the day. This was going on while the 2 late men's games were going on. So I was trying to, split my time between 3 fields here. But Streetball FC Canada versus the Wrexham Red Dragons. And Streetball gets the win 2-1. So, yeah. Let me go ahead and see if I can get you guys the conference standings for the women's side, the group stage. Right now we have Streetball FC Canada, the only undefeated team. They are sitting at 2-0. Second place in the group is the U.S. women. Third place is Angel City Sevens. And Wrexham Red Dragons have yet to get on the board, but we're pulling for the ladies of the Wrexham Red Dragons. So hopefully today will be the day. I believe they play the U.S. women's team. So we'll see how that goes. Group B, Burnley FC is in the lead. They are sitting at 1-1, but they have a tiebreaker. Tampa Bay Sun also at 1-1. North Carolina Courage at 1-1. And Soccerhead FC has not won a game yet. So the way this is going to work in the elimination bracket, first place from Group A, going to play second place from Group B. First place from Group B, going to play second place from Group A. Winner goes on to the championship. Pretty easy, right? Very small bracket. It turns into a 4-team elimination. Final 4 right off the bat when we get done with the group stage. So moving into today's action for the women's side, I already told you we have Wrexham versus the U.S. women's team. We also have Soccerhead FC versus the North Carolina Courage. Give me the Courage in that one. Streetball Canada versus Angel City Sevens. Streetball Canada is undefeated. Give me Canada. And who else am I missing? Oh yeah, Tampa Bay Sun and Burnley Women. So I have no idea on this one. I'm going to be honest. I could see it going either way. But because we have a USL Super League team starting in Charlotte, give me the Tampa Bay Sun. And I don't know, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Burnley wins this. I really do think this Burnley team is pretty good. So, cheers. That's our schedule for today. The morning session is going to be purely the men's round of 16, the knockout stage. And then our evening session is going to be both the quarterfinals for the men's side and the third game of group stage for the women's side simultaneously. The soccer tournament is going great. I got a late start yesterday because I put out a ton of content. I put out 8 TikTok videos. I tried to upload them to Instagram and YouTube and Twitter where I could. Some of them have video limits. So I'm excited to bring you guys a little bit of extra today I wanted to publish a few interviews. So first off is going to be Thomas Rongen, the head coach that you know from the 2014 documentary Next Goal Wins, and then the Disney version remake of the same name directed by Taika Waititi, Next Goal Wins, which came out a year or two ago and is streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu. I watched that a few months ago. I had no idea he was going to be here, but Thomas Rognan is a gem. He is such a sweet guy. Michael Parker, the captain of Trident FC, is joining him for the interview. So I ran into Michael again yesterday, and he is also a fantastic guy. Trident FC is a William and Lee University alumni team. So I hope you enjoyed this interview. I'm going to publish that as a standalone on the feed. I have an interview with Paul from Super United FC. I saw him on the pitch yesterday against Concaifa. They were eliminated, but Paul is a gem, such a sweet guy. He was wearing a Charlotte FC hat, so I had to stop and talk with him, get permission from his team and everything, and he was good to go. And man, I've been so fortunate to have so many great conversations. I'm also going to try to publish the interview with the Concaifa boys from a few days ago that I published on our TikTok and YouTube. And that thing is taking off on TikTok. It's our most watched, most liked video yet. It's a lot of fun. The boys understand the assignment. And Stefan from that video is number 24. You will see him front and center in this Concaifa lineup. He seems like the MVP of the team to me. He's holding it down on defense. You see him at center back. You see him push forward, attack. He scores in games. And then they even have him playing goalie wearing a penny when the TST tactics shift and you need to have a more offensive formation. So the dude's doing great. Zach had a great game last night. He's in that interview. I haven't seen Gordy yet, but I think Gordy he's like kind of a backup rotation guy, but he's like that guy, the glue guy that holds everybody together. He's a lot of fun. He knows everybody. And you'll hear in that interview that he was actually key to assembling this team for Pat McAfee. So Gordy, Zach, and Stefan, you guys rock. Appreciate you. I'm going to get that interview out here on the feed. All right. Well, until then, like I said, follow us on socials. It's at QCS Pod on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and at QCS Pod _ on Instagram. I'm Level Up Luke at LVLUP_Luke on Twitter, and can't wait to share more of TST with you. If you're liking my coverage, it would mean a lot if you could drop me a line. Just let me know what you're liking, what I can improve on. This is my first time covering a major event tournament like this. It's exhausting. I've been sleeping wonderfully at the hotel, but man, I just feel like I'm completely drained right now, trying to stay hydrated and bring you guys all the action, all the excitement. Obviously, there's professional photographers here, professional media. I'm just a guy, and I'm doing this all solo. But if you have any questions, let me know. If you want to know more about specific teams, I can try to do that for you. I learned a lot about the Manhattan Kickers yesterday. I learned a little bit about Sire 7. I learned about 10-15 a few days ago. So these teams that I don't know about, I want to learn about them and bring you their stories. That's what I care about. That's what I think this tournament's all about, is bringing together people from all different levels of soccer and celebrating the sport and the culture that surrounds it that we all love and appreciate. That's why you're listening to the Queen City Soccer Show. That's why I'm doing it. All right, guys. Until next time. Until tomorrow. Until later today. Whenever it is. I'm Level Up Luke. It's the Queen City Soccer Show. And TST, baby. 2 $1 million winners. And we are getting closer and closer to finding out who they will be. Later.